Welcome to the next episode. This episode is all about the importance of support. I want to give a clear understanding of how your support network and your environment will heavily influence you towards you achieving your goal. We want to leverage our environment and the people around us to help us be more successful. A lot of us know the brighter we shine, the more light we can give those around us. But for us to feel better, shine brighter, a lot of the time we need support to get us up to that point where we can give this light back to those around us, okay? And with that being said, I have a question for you. Who do you turn to when you need help in your personal life? If something goes really wrong, if you have a tragic accident, who do you call? Who do you ring for help? How many people could you call on your phone if you had like an emergency and you felt as if someone could come help me now, I could solve this emergency? Your family, your friends, your co-workers, and even online communities have a massive impact. They will really help you progress through life. They're going to direct you. They're going to influence you. They're going to help you be consistent. They're going to challenge your motivation and your willpower. They can spur you on or they can pull you down. A quote that my granny used to say all the time is, birds of a feather flock together. People that are in your circle, you become these people. Okay, so years ago when I was growing up, I could have been with a few dodgy people, and my granny used to always say to me, birds of a feather flock together. Basically saying that I'm not fooling her. If I'm around dodgy people, I'm a dodgy person. So there is a bit of truth in that, even though not all people are bad, not all eggs are bad eggs, but there is a bit of truth in that, birds of a feather do flock together. Another famous expression is you become one of the 5 people that you spend the most time around. And again, there's a lot of truth in that too. These expressions have been around for a long, long time, and it really highlights the importance of the people that you keep in your circle. Some are by choice, and then some are just the way it is. You can't control your co-workers, you can't control your family, but you can control your interaction, your levels of engagement, and how much time and energy you give these people. Nowadays, I feel that there's a lot of us that don't feel very connected to our co-workers, to some of our family members, and to our friends. I feel this has a big impact on our physical health. If we don't have someone that we feel that we can lean on, if you have a personal issue going on, then it can kind of feel a bit like that you're on your own or you have to figure this out yourself. And for most of humankind, it was never like that. It's nowadays where we have so much technology and so many options available to us that it feels like I'm on my own path, or I just don't have the connection with someone else because we grew up using technology. If you were gaming all the time growing up, you weren't on the streets with your friends every day, day in, day out. In school, especially with college and school, with people that went through COVID, years essentially of being isolated and being by yourself, lots of time not being by your close friends. We grow apart as you get older as well. So quite often we can kind of lose these connections to people that are very close to us, or maybe we didn't have too many opportunities to develop strong bonds and connections with many friends, co-workers, wherever it might be. And then on a personal level, with me, a lot of my friends, we like to keep things to ourselves. Not all of us, but most of us. We like to keep things private. We like to deal with our issues ourselves. We internalize a lot of the stuff. And don't get me wrong, that works, but it always comes at a cost. Okay, there's always a price to pay when we kind of keep things to ourselves. Because maybe we don't know what to do. Maybe you have to figure it out. Maybe you got to learn the hard way. Maybe you're looking online. The internet has changed the game. Maybe we go online for help. Maybe in this context, we're looking at someone that's online and they are giving us training advice and nutritional advice, but this person is taking steroids and they're basically lying to us. What they do is not what you should do. And people want to sell us things all the time. They might want you to buy a supplement that is absolutely useless. They might want you to sign up or subscribe to a diet that they have that, again, is probably not the best for you in this moment in time. The internet has changed the game a lot because we spend so much more time online and we are using this in-person interaction less and less and less. And it can be very difficult to kind of get a strong bond with someone over line. Now, that's not to say that you can't find a really good online community where you end up interacting with the same people over and over and create strong bonds. But it's a little bit more difficult to do that online than it is in real life, especially given the fact that a lot of people are just trying to sell to you online. They're trying to get you to buy something off them. So, the integrity of a lot of people, especially within the fitness industry, can be questioned. So why is support so important? Every great athlete has or had a great coach. In school, you had, I hope you had at least one great teacher. When you meet a mentor, a teacher, a coach that's really good, you excel in that field. If you compare in school, you go back and think in school, the good teacher, the bad teacher, even in college, the good lecturer, the bad lecturer. Like, what module or what subject did you do better in? If you had a great coach, if you played football or Gaelic when you grew up, I promise you, you enjoyed it more, you gave more effort, you put more into it, and you probably got more out of it also, right? It doesn't matter who you are or what you're trying to achieve. We need to have support networks around us, okay? Alexander the Great, when he was born, his parents wanted the best teacher for Alexander. Who did they get? Socrates. Now, they got Socrates, the Socrates, to teach their boy, to train him, to educate him, to give him wisdom. How much do you think that cost? How difficult do you think that was to get Socrates? It was very difficult, okay? Socrates is well sought after. His services were really valuable, but they understood the importance of support. Alexander's father was off at war, expanding his empire, and his mum would be at court and would be playing the political game within their empire. So they had to get someone to really support. So they believed that getting the best mentor would help their son. History has taught us that it did, and that's why we call him Alexander the Great. So when we have great teachers, when we have great mentors, when we have great coaches, this really elevates us. The other side of the coin is we are all going to face battles in life. Doesn't matter who you are, where you live, or what your circumstances are, life will hit you. Doesn't matter what the situation is, something is going to happen to you. Now, you might think, I can educate myself, I can train myself, I can do this, I can do that myself. The internet is great. I don't need a mentor, a coach, someone to help me. But what happens when life hits you in the face? What happens when you get a diagnosis? What happens when the person that you love the most dies suddenly? What happens when you have a heart attack? What happens when something just hits you like a train that you could never imagine, you never thought was going to happen to you, but it does? What happens then? If you have a good support network, these people will come and help build you back up no matter how hard you have been knocked down. And it's so important to have a few people that you can call upon to help you, whether that's to lift you up and bring you to new heights or to pick you up when you get knocked down. You need to have a few people to help you. I promise you, if you don't have these people, I would ask you to prioritize developing your support network. Okay, reaching out to family, reaching out to old friends. You might need to start initiating conversations, developing the connection, developing the bond, and maybe having some hard conversations. Maybe you have to be frank with someone. I don't have a lot of people in my life. I know you a long time. I value our friendship. I'd really like to help you with this or that. With me in my life, you don't call me if you want to party. You don't call me if you want to, go out and get smashed. You don't call me on these lads' holidays. But what you do call me is, you call me if you have an emergency. You call me if you have a heart attack. You call me if someone close to you dies. You call me if you have been hit with a serious illness and that you don't know how to help. I've helped people in my life, and I'm helping people right now as you speak with these issues. You get what you give. I can call these people and ask them to support me now or whenever I need support. I can ask them to keep me accountable, to support me through a challenge. Life is a shared experience, and it's not just the parties, it's not just the flash life that we see online. A lot of life, there's beauty in the struggle. Personally, for me, Right now, I remember the people that were there for me when I had nothing, when I was down and out, when I was on the streets, and they're picking me up, pulling me up. They saw potential in me. They helped grow me and become the person I am today. Than the people when life was all good and we were living the flash life, we were spending money, we were burning through money as if it was just coming and going super quick. I remember those people that were there for me when the struggle was real. And now when I think back at that, I see the beauty in those relationships, in that support network that I had. And honestly, I cannot reiterate how important it is to have just a couple of people that you can rely on to help support you. I want to move back into this idea of having a coach. I said it a few moments ago. Every great athlete has a great coach. If you listen to any athlete speak, they'll always go back to the coach. Now, if you want to get to the top of anything, it doesn't matter if it's professional or if it's personal, you should be considering hiring a coach, if not multiple coaches. You don't need to have them all at once, but definitely cycling through maybe counselors, business mentors, personal trainers, etc., etc. The reason I say this is that yes, you can go alone, but if you look at history, most great people had a mentor, had a great coach, had a great teacher, and that's what really made the difference between them from being good to becoming great. And if you really want to become great, you should definitely be looking into researching hiring a coach. When it comes to health and when it comes to fitness, there is so much noise out there. There's so many ways to become successful, i.e. lose fat, build muscle, become healthier. There's many ways to skin a cat. There's many paths up that mountain. But I tell most people, when it comes to your personal goals, it's not really a path that we're walking for most people. Okay? It's actually an island to an island. This is where you are, this is where you want to go, and what's stopping you is the bridge. And that bridge is a lot of the time support, because the information is there. You probably already know what you need to do, but why aren't you doing it? Because you don't have the support, you don't have that accountability, the motivation, that driving force behind you, supporting you, acting as the bridge from where you are to where you want to be. The amount of time that you will save by having a coach is unquestionably a smart investment. The amount of people that I see that's hopping from diet to this to that, I call it the honeymoon phase. I don't have a passionate course, and this is a very spiritual course that you can do. Now, on the last day, he speaks about people that are going around this field digging holes, okay, trying to find gold. I'm sure you've seen the picture or the analogy before. They're digging, and they stop just before they reach the diamonds. For you, it doesn't really matter what route you go down. It doesn't matter what spiritual path. It doesn't really matter what diet you choose, what type of training you choose, because there's many ways to the same destination. Okay? But what you need to do is you need to stick on the route. When you do it yourself, most people that I see, they're just spinning plates, they're spinning their wheels and going nowhere, because they're doing 3 weeks of carnivore diet. Then they're going on to this type of diet. Then they're doing the low carb. Then they're doing the fasting. Then they're doing the this. Then they're doing the that. And they're really going nowhere because they don't have this consistency over a long period of time. And they don't have someone that has been there, done it, and knows exactly what they need to do next. There's an opportunity cost to you and everyone when you are just going around in circles. Okay, yes, you're trying 10 different ways, thinking that the next way is going to be the groundbreaking way. But to be 100% honest, I can show you results on every single diet. Every single diet. It doesn't matter if it's Weight Watchers, counting your sins, or if it's carnivore, veganism. It doesn't really matter. A lot of these diets have lots of benefits and they get results. But that doesn't mean that's what you should be doing. Most of the time, it's out of context to who you are, what's important to you, and what really matters, what aligns with your goals. If you don't have the resources to hire a coach right now, the next thing that I'd ask you to do is to share your goal. That's with your family, your friends, your co-workers, your employer, everyone you possibly can. You share the goal. Go onto your Instagram and social medias, write down the goal on your bio. Let people know what you're trying to do, because that instantly is going to elevate the level of accountability. People are going to start asking you, how are you getting on with your fat loss? What are you doing now? How is that going? Did you go to the gym? People might even start engaging with you. I'll go for a walk with you. Oh, did you check out this book? Did you read this guy? Did you listen to that podcast? As I said a few moments ago, you get what you give. When you put something out there, you're going to start receiving all different kinds of information. Some of it might be nice, some of it might not be helpful, but I can promise you, you're still going to be getting this level of engagement on the goal that you want to achieve, which is very, very helpful overall. Okay. Yes, it might be a bit of noise, but I can promise you, you're going to get support from people that you might not even realize. Could be a co-worker that you don't really speak to, but they are super passionate about losing fat, or they maybe lost 20, 30, 40 pounds and they might be like, this is what I done, or they might, you never know where the help can come from. But if you don't share your goal, if you don't put it out there, you can't expect to receive help, support and everything else. With that being said, in the last episode I briefly touched on it, setting boundaries. Not everyone is going to give a shit. Maybe your goal is in the opposite way of my goal. Maybe we are opposite forces now. And this is something that we need to practice when you are trying to achieve a goal, is setting clear boundaries with yourself and with those people around you. People can support you in 1, 2, 3 ways, and they might not be supportful in other ways. And if you have your clear boundaries set for yourself, you can easily express them to others. No, I don't do this on the weekends anymore because I'm trying to lose weight. I need that time to help me lose my weight. Obviously, it can be more polite than that. You don't need to become rude. What I'm trying to get at is the importance of boundaries when it comes to your support network. Okay, because we can't just assume that everyone's going to be on our side or they want what we want. Good intentions pave the road to hell. And what that means is everyone has good intentions, but that doesn't mean it's good intentions are the best intentions for you. If you don't have boundaries set in place, it can easily cause little conflicts, disturbances. You know, people can assume a lot, and you didn't express these boundaries because you have new goals, or you might just want to get more serious about your goals, and therefore it can cause a lot of disturbances around the people that will support you. And these people might love you dearly, and you might love them. Just right now, we are moving in the opposite directions. So how do you get support into your life? The first thing that you need to do is you need to identify your supporters. If it's a professional or a personal goal, they're going to be different supporters, okay? Yes, you might have friends and family that will support in both of them, but for a lot of us, we're going to have different supporters for the different types of goals we want to achieve. The next thing that I recommend you to do is to hire a coach, okay? Remember, what is the cost of you doing nothing? What is the price of inaction? The cost of opportunity. Okay. Yes, it takes an investment to hire someone good, especially in the health and fitness industry. I try to tell all my clients, you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. And that is simply because there is no standard of education in the health and fitness industry. You can go into Groupon and buy a discounted personal training course and just do it online for 6 weeks and you can coach someone. There's no barrier to entry. We can just all jump online and we can all give out diet advice. So please, please, please be super mindful of who you hire. If it's too good to be true, it is too good to be true. If you don't have the resources to hire a coach, join a group. Okay, online, in real life, in work, whatever it might be, there's all types of groups to help you move in that direction. This one's a bit personal. Be open and be honest and get better at communicating what is your goal and what are your priorities over the next 6, 12, 18 weeks. Let your supporters, let the people in your close circle know what you are trying to do, because this is going to tie into those boundaries you spoke about a few moments ago. You need to express what you're trying to do, and this is also going to help set boundaries, which is also going to set the rules of engagement for you and them. If they get angry or annoyed or upset over something that you're doing, you can refer back to, I told you, this is my goal. I told you on weekends I'm not going out drinking, blah, blah, blah. Oftentimes we can lose connection when we're going on our own journey. When we want to achieve our own goals, a lot of the time we can stop communicating to old friends or work colleagues or wherever it might be. I advise you to stay connected. I advise you to still reach out to these people. You know, I did say a few moments ago, it's good on social media to let people know, share it on your stories, or create a post about what you're doing. Let the people that you love know what you're doing. And even though they might not support you, they still might feel good about you going after your own goals. You might think that like your own goal is purely an individual goal. But what I said at the start of this podcast was the brighter your light shines, the more light you give to those around you. And this is the whole thing around support networks. If you're taking some time and you're prioritizing your own goals, you're building and you're strengthening yourself. But you are a network. You are a part of the network within your family, your work environment, your friend circle, your community. One of my major philosophies is that everything is connected. And if you take time out to work on yourself, to strengthen your mental, physical, or spiritual well-being, there's automatically going to be this energy and force that you can give to other people. You might be down now, but if you can find those 2 or 3 people to pick you up, I can promise you, if they ever have a challenge in their life, you're going to be the first to help them back up. Remember that bridge I spoke about. You might be on an island right now. Your goal is that other island. If you know what you want to achieve, if you have had the same goal for more than 6 months and you haven't achieved it or made significant progress towards it, I want you to imagine the bridge, okay? And the support around you is going to be that building block of the bridge to help you get to where you are, to where you want to be. Visualize the bridge. If you haven't made progress in your goal, you might be stranded on an island and you might need to have support to help you get you from where you are to where you want to go. There's an expression that I love around support. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Find your tribe, find the family, the friends, the co-workers, your community to help you become that person you want to be. Yes, you might go fast on your own, but how far can you go? You've heard it over and over and over again. Life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. You want to go far, you don't want to go fast. Find that support, build that support network, communicate your goals, set your boundaries, set your priorities. Keep moving forward towards that goal. If you're on an island and you can't make progress, build a bridge or find the people that can help you build that bridge to get to where you want to be. Bodyful listeners are not quitters. Thank you for getting to the end of the episode. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.